Hello everyone and welcome. This is Dawn. I'm so glad you could join me. I'm back with another Halloween card. Today I'm sharing how I made this super cute shaker card with patterned paper. I'm using the Whimsy stamp Slimline SurReally cool Halloween paper and the Elvira Moonlighting die set. So let's get started. I'll be using this pattern paper right here and I'm just going to set it aside for now. First, I'll be using the Slimline Birthday Scallop die set to make a border to go around the pattern paper. I'm going to die cut 6 of them from some black cardstock so that I can make my shaker window with it. If you don't want to die cut 6 of them to give it the height it needs for the shaker bits to move around, you could die cut 1 of them and then put foam tape around the edge of it. I thought die cutting 6 was easier than trying to adhere the foam tape since the scallop border isn't that wide, so you'd have to cut the foam tape pretty thin, but I wanted to let you know you could do it either way. Anyway, I'm adhering 5 of the 6 borders together with some liquid glue, and then I'm going to adhere some score tape to the back of the last black border. I like using score tape rather than liquid glue because I get the liquid glue all over my acetate for some reason when it slides all around. So here I'm cutting my score tape because I couldn't find my 1/8 inch tape, which is really what works best for this size border, but I can't find it in my craft room for some reason. So what I'm doing is taking my wider tape and I'm just cutting it into smaller pieces. Then I'm going to put it all around the scalloped border. Then I'm going to adhere the acetate on top of the score tape. Just be careful to line it up so that it's not crooked after you lay it down, but if you have to, it does remove easily so you could reposition it. And to finish off my shaker front, I adhere the acetate border to the rest of the black borders that I had glued together. Just be careful when you adhere it on you don't get glue all over the acetate because it can happen. Next, I'm going to die cut the Elvira and the bats from some black cardstock. I'm just using the center of the black cardstock that was cut out from the scallop border just so I don't waste it. And then I'm going to die cut the Elvira again from a piece of white cardstock so that I can color her face in with some Copic markers. Be sure not to lose the little eyes because they are small and you can lose them very easy. I'm just coloring in her face with some E00 cotton pearl, not doing anything special. I just colored the whole face. And then I bring in some R11 with pale cherry to add a little bit of shading on her face. Nothing major, just very little here and there. Once I'm done with the coloring, I'm going to adhere Elvira onto the paper with some liquid glue. And I just press her down really good since she'll be inside the shaker card. And then I adhere her face where it goes. And then using my jewel picker, I adhere her eyes. And then I lightly color them with some number 0 neutral gray. And then I take my black fine tip Sharpie and I add black circles in the center of the eyes. And then I add 2 small lines above each eye to look like eyelashes. Now I'm going to start to assemble the inside of the shaker card. I adhere the 2 bats onto the pattern paper where I want them to go. And then I'm going to take my white jelly roll pen and I just put some white accents onto the bats to help them kind of stand out a little bit more. And then I want it to look like she has white hair, so I start out with just 2 lines and then I ended up coloring in the whole front of her head with the white because I thought it looked a little more interesting that way. And then I just am going to add a few little lines around the edge of her hair as well. Now for the shaker fun, I'm using the awesome confetti from THISCALLSFORCONFETTI. She has the most amazing confetti mixes. Now unfortunately, I haven't placed my order yet for my Halloween confetti from her, but I have the Midnight Dahlia and the matte black confetti, so I'm just going to mix those 2 together to make my Halloween mix. So I just pour a little bit of each one in this little container, and then I mix it all up and I just pour it on top of the pattern paper. Now you only need a little bit. I'm not trying to make this a full-blown shaker card. I just want enough for it to move around, but mostly stay at the bottom. I don't want it to cover up my image. Make sure all of the confetti is in the middle so you don't get it stuck on the sides of the shaker window when you lay it down over the confetti. Now I want to trim away the excess pattern paper from around the scallop frame. So you can either cut it away with scissors or you can use your paper trimmer. If you're using the paper trimmer, just be careful not to cut the frame. Next, I cut a piece of white cardstock to 7 by 8.5 and I scored it at 3.5. And then I adhered the card front to the card base. And to finish off the card, I'm using the Spirited Sentiments. It's just a bunch of hocus pocus. And I'm going to heat emboss it onto some black cardstock. So I rub my cardstock with my embossing powder bag. I stamp it with Versamark ink. I pour silver embossing powder on it. And when my heat tool is good and hot, I heat emboss the sentiment. I cut the sentiment down to size, I put foam tape on the back of it, and I adhere it to the top of my card. I think this shaker card is super cute and fun for anybody to receive it. So that's going to complete my card for today. I hope you enjoyed it. And I want to thank you for joining me on the Whimsy Stamps YouTube channel. I would love for you to leave a comment below and let me know what you think of the card. Be sure to subscribe to the Whimsy Stamps YouTube channel and their other social media platforms so you don't miss out on any upcoming releases and great inspirational videos. Also, check out their website for all their new releases. And as always, thanks for stopping by and have yourself a wonderful day.